What up, you guys? This is Steven, and I'm back with some news regarding Miss Utada Hikaru. And I retrieved this news from jpopasia.com. They're a great source for not only news on Japanese entertainers, but also other Asian entertainers as well, like Korean entertainers, Chinese entertainers, etc. The title of the article is Utada Hikaru Making Progress on Comeback Album. And, I'll do my usual. I'll read through it, give my thoughts and opinions as I go, and as well give some thoughts and opinions after reading. And the article is pretty short and straight to the point. So, with that being said, here we go. Production on Utada Hikaru's upcoming album is going well, according to the singer's father, Terazune Utada. All right, so Utada's dad apparently, I don't know if he is like Utada's official like PR type person. Or I don't know if her dad has like an official title within Utada's career. Like, or either it's just like, hey, that's my daughter, and I'm just gonna speak about my daughter. Anywho, either way, Utada's dad is speaking up, Mr. Utada. And, he's telling us that the album is going well. So that's good to hear. It should be going well. You've had how many years to work on this, Utada? I'm just saying. All right. On February 5th, Hikaru's father tweeted with an update regarding the singer's upcoming album. Okay, so I mentioned this before in a previous video, but yeah, it's kind of cool. And, kind of interesting to see that, Utada's dad is up on social media, and he's using social media because I'm not, usually when you think of like older people, you don't think of them as like being like social media savvy. But that's kind of cool that he is social media savvy. All right. So this is what he tweeted, quote unquote, I think it can be said that the album's production is going well, he said. Okay. So he's basically said that the album production is going well, and well, he thinks that it can be said that it's going well. And I don't know if he tweeted this in English or Japanese. I'm assuming he probably tweeted it in Japanese. I'm pretty sure he can speak some English, but then again, he may feel more comfortable speaking in Japanese because that's his, first language. But yeah, he said that the album production is going very well. So at least we know that, things are progressing, at least the Utada Tots can, kind of start to back themselves off of the ledge a little bit, right? I really don't want to see no Utada Tots on the news for jumping off the ledge here. So thankfully this will get them like, backing up a little bit. Right, hang in there, Utada Tots. She is coming back for you guys. Y'all queen is coming back. All right. Although progress is being made, it is too early to talk about the album in any sort of detail. So far we don't really have any specific details. Like we don't really know like is Utada going to be, singing ballads? Probably so. But we don't know that for sure. Like is she going to be singing more dance songs? Probably not. Is she going to be doing like incorporating EDM into her music? I don't imagine that. But, we don't know. For all we know, Utada could be like, putting together like a twerk song for all we know. Probably not. But, we don't know any details right now. So, yeah. But considering that it's Utada Hikaru, I'm pretty sure like the Utada Tots can kind of gauge and kind of guess where she's going, at least based on what they know about Utada. I kind of hope that she will try to stay, like, I hope that Utada will try to stay a bit more current. She can do like, little flashbacks. Well, not flashbacks. I don't think that's what they call them. Throwbacks is what they call them, I think, to, different musical eras or whatnot. But in order, to be fair, this album is going to sell any type of way. This album is going to sell. even if the album is completely terrible, it's gonna sell some records just because it's Utada Hikaru and her comeback album, and people are checking for Utada Hikaru like that. Um, but with that all being said, I do hope that Utada tries to, also stay true to herself, but also be a little bit more current. Be current. Keep up with the times. And I'm not sure. I can kind of see Utada trying to do that. I mean, I don't want her to do like generic EDM stuff, but she can incorporate some of the current music style into her music style as well, giving being staying true to herself as the balladeer. Um, I will reference another musical artist who's kind of doing what I'm saying. The musical artist Misha, she was able to kind of do that with her latest album, Love Bebop, and she kind of like did some throwback music, but also did some music that sounded a bit more current. And I think that's good to be able to keep up with the times, because in order for you to kind of progress and to stay relevant in music, you do to an extent have to keep up with the times. Um, but like I said, though, this album could be completely terrible, like just Utada just yelling on the mic gibberish, and it'll probably sell at least something, just because it's Utada Hikaru, and folks just want something from Utada Hikaru. I wonder if she will incorporate any English language songs into the album. I don't think so, but they could be maybe like extras if she feels like it. I think for this comeback album, I think a Japanese album, since it's you know, she's primarily returning to the Japanese music industry. I think that, yeah, okay, Japanese music, but maybe like extras, maybe like on the singles, you can include maybe like an English song or maybe the English version of one of her songs or something like that. Just for, her international fans, because, Utada does have international fans who don't speak Japanese, but who are checking for her and are willing to listen to her Japanese music, but would also appreciate, to hear some English language songs as well. All right, next. And this is more of his quote, or more of his, I guess, Twitter post. All right, here we go. It is not yet at a stage where a release date can be given, he wrote. So we don't have a release date. We don't have like a solid release date here. I'm hearing that it's supposed to be around sometime in the summer, but right now they probably don't want to give a release date because things are a bit too much in the air and too early, and Utada is kind of like still in the, maybe not the brainstorming stage, but still kind of like in the early stage where she might be kind of like, okay, I'm thinking about taking the album in this direction, but then maybe get some inspiration and think, okay, maybe instead let's kind of like go back and do some recordings, or maybe record some more stuff, because she may not feel satisfied with the overall product. So right now, I guess it's just at the point where Utada herself can't say for sure, because, I'm sure Utada really wants to put a lot into this record because it's such a significant record in her discography. It's her comeback album since she's been going for a while. So I'm pretty sure she wants to really do this as well as she can do this, and do this as best as possible. So ultimately, if Utada takes her time and really uses her time wisely, then everyone can win. Utada can feel, a sense of gratification and satisfaction in her body of work, as well the fans can really enjoy a great body of work from Utada Hikaru that they've been checking for years, So, while I can understand the fans' frustration, you've been waiting this long. What's a couple of more months, right? All right. Next, it is currently known that Utada will be providing the theme song for a new NHK drama titled Toto Ni-chan. That will begin airing on April 4th. no details about the theme song have been released yet. Alright, so this is news from a while ago, the Utada talks were all, you know, just jumping out of the seats, going crazy, doing cartwheels, finally backing up from the ledge a little bit because some news circulated around that Utada's going to be providing the theme song for upcoming drama. And this was kind of like hinted at a while back, but now we have like official confirmation that, this is going to happen. And that drama is going to begin airing on April 4th. So check for that song around sometime, April 4th or a little bit later to hear that song. So at least it's kind of like starting, like the comeback begins, the comeback is coming, it's starting, And I'm interested to hear the song as well. I imagine it being a ballad. I don't imagine it being some fast-paced dance song because usually from all the music I've listened to from Utada, while she does have like mid-tempo songs, I never really imagined or seen her as like, the dance song type. So I imagine it being somewhat of a ballad, possibly a mid-tempo ballad. Then again, it could be a power ballad, I don't know. But some type of a ballad, I'm imagining. But, as far as we know, no details about the theme song have been released yet. So it's just up in the air. We don't know what this song could be, As well, we don't really know where Utada's heading with her music exactly. So a lot of things are, up in the air and a mystery. But, at least you have like a solid date. At least the Utada have a solid date when it comes to hearing that particular song. Like April 4th, check for it. You know what I'm saying? And it probably might be released as a single as well, which would be a great idea for Utada to do because that will begin the comeback. And then I'm pretty sure that single is going to be selling like hotcakes, selling like, illegal drugs to junkies. Like folks are going to buy that single. I'm pretty sure that single will go at least platinum. At least sell 250,000 copies in the Japanese music industry, at least. But let me finish up this article here. Utada Hikaru is currently working on making a comeback with the release of her first new album in 7 years. I didn't know it was that long. I thought it was probably 5 years. But then again, I'm guessing they're thinking the way they're doing it is like, okay, Utada went on hiatus in 2010, I think, and she may have released her last album before her hiatus, maybe like in 2009 or 8 or something like that. Maybe. But yeah, like, I'm guessing Utada Hikaru is like one of them people who can really do that, who can stay gone for years at a time, but then come back and folks just be going crazy and checking for them. Kind of like how people are doing with Adele, and also how people did with like Michael Jackson. When it comes to Utada in the Japanese music industry, she can do that, it seemed like. Because she is just has been able to like, solidify herself within like the fabric of Japanese pop music culture, or like Japanese culture, and just period. Like she's been able to really just like become a part of it to this extent where she can do this, and like people will be checking for her because when it comes to music, especially like the music industry is a tough industry, especially now. So that does say something about how people feel about Utada and Utada's staying power, because there's some people, some musical artists, they gone for about a year and we moved on. You know what I'm saying? But people still checking for Utada. So I'm happy that people are still checking for Utada. So the last sentence is, although nothing is finalized, the album is expected to be released at some point this year. I'm thinking around summertime, maybe late summer. It could be released during the holiday season, but I don't think Utada should do that just because there are a lot of people releasing during the holiday season. I think Utada needs to release during a season or time where kind of like it's just Utada, even though I'm pretty sure Utada could take on the competition and win, but I want Utada to sell as many records as possible. I want her to break records here. So you have to, in order to do that, sometimes you have to strategically plan your release date, kind of like how some artists were changing their release date so they wouldn't be competing with Adele. I know, like, I think maybe Rihanna and Beyonce may have changed their release dates for their albums so they didn't have to compete with Adele. Sometimes you got to do something like that. In Utada's case, um, while she can take on the competition and win, in my opinion, I think that she should release her music kind of like in a slow period. A period where, you may be going up against some like newcomers or, some folks who really don't sell that many records, and just take on the competition and take it all, you know. Really, I think other people need to be, working around Utada. If, if they're smart, they'll be, checking for Utada's release date. Like, okay, she releasing her album, July, of 2016. So I'm going to release my album, 3 months later in like October of 2016. I think that would be smart of some musical artists to do that, especially if you are a female solo musical artist. I don't think you should be trying to release your music around the same time as Utada Hikaru at this point. If you're smart. And, I think that perhaps, depending on the musical artist, I think that ultimately they're smart enough to know what's up, right? But I think I've gone on for long enough. I think I've said all I have to say. I didn't expect this video to be as long as it is. I didn't really expect to have much to say about this, but I guess apparently I did. But yeah, I'm excited for this comeback. I'm checking for this comeback, definitely. I'm, like I've said many times, I'm not like a super huge Utada Hikaru fan, but perhaps, this comeback will kind of get me, into, becoming more of a fan, it's maybe even possible that I may even purchase the album. Possibly, depending on what I hear, from her singles and whatnot, I'm not really into the balladeer type of singers. I'm more so into the, the showman slash showgirl type of singers, the song and dance type of thing. But, I'm open, open to new musical genres and new musical styles. So I definitely wish Utada well, and I'm sure she's going to do very well in her comeback. I can't imagine her coming out and flopping. I really just don't imagine that. Anything's possible, but I just don't imagine that happening. So yeah, I will be checking for Utada definitely on April 4th to hear this new song, which I'm sure going to be posted all over the internet. You know how that's going to be. But yeah, I think I've said all I have to say for the time being, you guys. So thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and your support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Into the next photo analysis. And to the next news article. Adios and goodbye for now.